I updated Zoom, so it was a bit confusing here at first, but it seems to work. Yep.
Cool.
Go.
I guess you guys can hear me. That's good. That's good. Always like to know that ahead of time. Thank you. It's automatic there. It's just I go through and there's a whole bunch of them, and it's so I appreciate that. Oh, good. Let me hit this. Thank you. Yeah, I got them all pre-programmed in, so you get the idea. Looking up for Mike still. This kicks off a packed week here, right? Packed week of content coming up. Which is going to be exciting. Did you see the email we got today from Mr. Coots?
I think I saw something. I haven't read it. I just put it in the stuff that was that I haven't read. So now I need to log into my email again to see it, because I saw something from his business, so to speak.
Yeah, he wants to come on a week from Saturday morning.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I think I'm free, so that all worked out.
Yeah, he wants to promote it and talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, to promote, talk about some of the new stuff he's done. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll reach out. I'll send an email tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Following up. Hey, thanks for 91. I got you at the show when I can ever do it. Hope everyone's good. See ya. Hey, Alex, how are you? Did you get in touch with Eric yet? There goes Mike. We have some time here. What's up, Mike?
Hello.
That's cool. Well, just let me know. I can always assist if you need to. I told him there were options. So, I did say that to him. May come on a little early tonight. Why not? It's good. Hey, John. John, are you home, I'm assuming? You're good? Feeling better? Phoenixy. I still got an early morning on Tuesday, on Thursday, slap Butcher Con if you want to fill it. Discuss. Good to hear. Just let me know. That's good. Good to hear. Button time. instead of hammer time, but it's usually button time for me. Got that weird feeling I'm forgetting something. Maybe not. I don't know. I was like, what did I forget? Yeah, it's the beginning of the week. Mike, you haven't shared any Gen Con pics, man.
Oh, they're
So Brandy has them all?
Barely even got that.
Oh, really?
Didn't take off.
You're like me, I don't take much pictures. I don't take anywhere near as much as I should.
Cynically, I don't think there was much to take a picture of.
No. How about those lines for that stupid card game that no one can get?
Right. Yeah, it was nothing new from me. The card game definitely sucked a lot of air out of it. Maybe I just wasn't in the right part of it.
Oh, it's only 7:51, so I thought John was going to finish a little early, so, but it don't matter. Just trying to rock it in. Magical items of Greyhawk. Nice. Take your pick. Lots of flavor here. Lots and lots, which is great. Sources all over. In fact, we'll probably miss some. I know the minute we go live, you guys should be here. You should be on. I guess we'll find out here in a second. We'll talk a little. Things coming up. We'll go 8 minutes early. Why not? Why? Because. So good evening, everyone. It's a Wednesday. I'm J.K. Lucas-Zumba and Anna Meyer and Greyhawk. Mike Bridges are with me for another discussion on Greyhawk lore this time. Hey, Sam. I didn't even set it up. Oh, Sam's being the Casey of the world now. You guys, yeah. Normally it's...
Oh, yeah, he's the first one.
Yeah, he's the first one before I even set it up. Boom. Da-na-na. So there you go. It's set up now, so you should be good. Everyone should be good for that. Exclamation point drawing. It's a classic D&D reprint. There's plenty of that. It is some, yeah, it is. But I said during the stream, the pre-stream, I'm forgetting something, and that's what it was, right? I knew it was something. So, all right, let's see where we are on this before we get into our topic here. We're at Virtual Greyhawk Con. They're getting there now. We're getting there. I still have one major group / individual that does not have their stuff in, and we probably all know who that is because it's the same organization / person every year at the end. So we got some great stuff, some great events here coming. Really, really wonderful content, and I think this is the highest quality we've had. You know what? Let me go here to event schedule because that'll put them in by date time. There we go. We got stuff all over, and you can see the Greyhawk Reborn. We have by event type Greyhawk Reborn, Troller Games, and then RPGs, Seminar. Oh, that's Anna too. Anna doesn't have hers in either. Sorry, I wasn't
No,
talking
I'm
about you. Anna.
terrible.
You know, I was talking
I'm,
about trolling
I'm ter-
games.
I'm ter- No, you talked about that was good. I needed that.
Yeah, John, we gotta get you gotta get your game in too, man. Right? I don't think you're in yet. We gotta get that in. I got that early morning set up. So yeah, if you can get one in, that would be great. And if you, I don't think you have one in yet, do you? No. First one's Friday. We got 9 a.m. stuff in here. So yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Highly recommend joining an Anna game. Yes, highly recommend that. So yep, we're getting there.
Thank you, Antiquitas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lots of good stuff.
I've played with Anna many times, but never had to run anything.
Well,
we played together a couple of times.
Yeah.
And
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll say this. Come next March, we all may have a lot. If you're there early, if you're there for Founders and Legends, and then go to and for GaryCon, there's like 3 days where there's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday where there's nothing, right? Well, no, just Tuesday and Wednesday. 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So there can be all sorts of pickup games for that
we can do something on. There. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, Tim Enoch. We got. Did you get it yet? I shipped it out Monday. I'm wondering if it was 2-day point or 3-day point for you. I always forget. But there's stuff in here from lots of great people. See, when I do it like this, I can't see who the authors are all the time. That's just annoying. I got to go over to scheduling. You may see some stuff over here on the right side you don't care about, but hold on, give me a sec here. The wonders of this thing. All right, so look, I mean, we got Indicarus, we got right, Indicarus. Let me blow this up a little bit. There we go. Right, author William Henry Dvorak, Lee, Les, Oblivion Seeker, Wiley Hobbit, Carlos Lysing, myself, Valmoku, Jay Stepin. This is all Greyhawk Reborn. Greyhawk Reborn. They're all great. CGH. They're all Greyhawk Reborn games, which anyone can join, all the way through. Chaotic Gaming for 3. Gardner and Tempest for 3. Guild Superior's in. Curtis. Chantel. Rob Phantom NJ is in. Amy Crittenden's in. Ethan Cochran is our min. New Zealand is in, and Jonathan Blueblock just got one of his games in. So fun. Looking forward to it. More to come. Great slate, but more to come still. In fact, I'm working on a super mega double secret probation thing. I do not want to curse it. I do not want to jinx it. That a legend, one of the oldest, one of the DM for the oldest DMing guild group in existence may be running something for us. So I'm working on that. So we'll see. So, oh, good. You got it. That's cool. All right. So we're a little early still. Look, it's not even 8 o'clock yet. That's crazy. Not even 8 yet. So that's what's up for this. And then you guys all saw the posts if you're around on Sunday night. So just note this week is packed with people. The rest of the week I have our game Thursday, but Saturday I have Ed Greenwood on, right, playing with a whole great cast. And then Sunday night I got the Inked Mage, Steven Chenault, and Roger E. Moore on for DM's Roundtable. And it looks like we may have the Saturday after that, we have Rob Kuntz on in the morning. So we got a lot going on. So some good stuff. Okay. After last week's theoretical discussion, we toned it back to.
I'm sorry about that.
That was good. I just sat back and it was along for the ride for that one. But yeah, we have to have those. It's good to discuss all different topics. So, but tonight, magic items. So where do you go? No.
What'd you do?
Oh, you did something?
No, yep. Chuck's back at the hospital.
Oh.
He says he's okay.
Okay. Well, when people say they're okay from the
Well,
hospital,
he says it has to
hopefully
do more with the way
okay.
his healthcare works, and he has to go to the emergency room
Oh,
and
gotcha.
not.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so
good. Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'll get more details. He says he's all
Mm-hmm.
right. I'll get more details.
Yep.
So hey, Green
That's
Zap.
good.
So just note that yeah. So I just got I'm looking back and forth, and always checking my Discord, and I got that. So
Mm-hmm.
is like one thing I love about Greyhawk, and there's things that drew me to Greyhawk when I was a kid, and that number one was the heraldry, of course, on the
Right.
pulsography, um, the original adventures, right? But within those adventures are all these cool, unique magic items, like really great stuff. And there's some really bizarre stuff that I don't know how it got through the cutting. And we talked about this in a show probably a year ago. Like Leonard Akofka did some stuff that I never had seen anywhere. With cross done potions. So blue box. Some really really crazy
There they are.
things. Yeah. Oh yeah, 8 on the nose.
Hello.
We've been babbling there, John and crew, for about 8 minutes. I've just been talking about Virtual CrowdCon. John, thank you for getting in your game. John's like the main event on Friday night, so looking forward to that. And thank you so very much, John, for that. But yeah, we got some great stuff coming, and looking forward to getting even more events in and more signups. If you haven't signed up, please do. The games, signing up for games is 2 weeks from this past Saturday. So whatever that date is, it's coming. It's coming pretty quickly. No, it's in 3 Saturdays. 3 Saturdays. Hold on. This month's got 5. It's the 26th. 3 Saturdays. Yeah, 12th, 19th, 26th at noon Eastern. So you got 2.5 weeks for signups for events. So.
Which means I'll remember on Sunday.
We'll give you a reminder. We'll give you multiple reminders, Mike. So, because by that time, that 26th, the summer's almost over, and everyone's going to be down on that. So, all right, give me each of you your first Greyhawk thoughts or of like something that oh, that was cool magic item.
So we're gonna dive into
just something off the top of your head, like what was really cool, that was
anything that has the name of a wizard in front of it.
That's
right.
Awesome.
So like
I was thinking kid wise, like you first. Okay, yeah, like you first. I'm going to show you my first. How's that sound?
Okay, maybe
we always have a first, and so let's go to C1. All right, let's go here, and I want to show you something that really was so cool as a magic item that I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. Big. All right, and we come here. Remember, this one has this Certain Shrine of Tomokhan's competition series. So we go in first time we ever ran this, and this is 78. Is that how from Harold Johnson? It's that early? 80, I think it was. Yeah, it was a little earlier. So if you come through here in the pictures, I'll show you. Yeah. Oh, it's sideways. See this? There's that axe on the wall, and it has the magical axe, and it has that shadow of a hand grabbing out. It's like, oh my god, that is so cool. Yeah, yeah. In one of the first rooms, and if you grabbed it, it turns you chaotic evil. Oh, I gave that away. Sorry. Yeah, isn't that cool? That's like one of the first ones we ever. That's why it's all on my wall frame. It's like one of the first published AD&D modules we ever had. That's after Keep on the Borderlands. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a really cool item. Oh, don't grab it, yeah. So that was really cool. And that's my first, when I was a young kid, impression of a Greyhawk magic item was that. Yeah. So
okay.
Yep. Spoiler, Troy. If you're spoiled from one that's 43 years old, too bad. And you can always change it. So. Mike, and Anna, any thoughts of something I know, you're saying that those are cool too, obviously, but something when you first started playing.
For us, it was for me. It was there was many items were unattainable in the beginning. We just died continuously. we never the first. I remember when I had a character who made third level, and then I played for like a year, 6 months or a year, and I made it up to that level. I don't think any of us had any, maybe a +1 sword or dagger or something somewhere, maybe. So magic items were not part of my first few years of gaming. But I remember when I got my Dungeon Master's Guide and I read through the magic items, the ones that struck me was the Staff of the Magi and Staff of the Power and the wizard, these staffs, because they were the magic items I imagined being really cool, so to speak. That and the Sword Holy Avengers. Those were the kind of these cornerstone iconic magic items. The rest were kind of esoteric and kind of weird and so on. So I never got into it. So my problem in the beginning was early on I was weaned off magic items because the game was supposed to be raw, gritty, and deadly, and it really was for the first few years, and we never got anywhere, so to speak. So I think I get in on the wrong footing when it came to magic items in a way, because it was gritty and we just died, and we made up new characters every damn session, and we died 3-4 rooms in, because our first couple of DMs really played old school, meaning it was trying to outwit the DM. That was what the game was about, and your character surviving was the reward, so to speak. And if you were really lucky, you got some treasure and some items, but you lost that next session anyway. So I don't think we cared much for it, because we knew that was going to disappear with the character anyway, and the will that we had at the bottom of the character sheet was really important at the beginning. So that tainted my view of the game, I think. So for some years after that, I was running campaigns that were non-deadly for a while, because it was, and then I'm slowly getting back into it, having campaigns more deadly again. So but I get back to how I treat magic items now, but that was my initial thing. It was unattainable, super cool items I read about, and nothing happened in my sessions. So yeah.
And Mike, a first impression one.
Yeah, so like I said, when I'm DM's Guide is where all the magic items, the classic ones.
And they're names of Greyhawk deities, Greyhawk adventures.
But when you start to draw the connection that's Greyhawk is when you get the Greyhawk box set, and you say, oh, here's Buckner's full purse. Here. And here's Buckner mentioned in the guide. So when you make them connections, that's when it starts hitting for you.
Okay.
I didn't just, obviously we didn't just get a keep on the Borderlands instantly start thinking Greyhawk. No, it took some connections.
Well, if you go keep on the Borderlands, it's everyone, the ogre sitting on the shield. Right? This is the ogre sitting on the shield in his cave, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's a magic shield," right? And that was the big one for there. But you have named, and everyone thinks name stuff came for spellcasters came in the Greyhawk Adventures book, but that's not true. In the original Dungeon Master's Guide, there's Buckner's Everfull Purse right there. Yeah, a few, not a lot, but a few. Nozzle's Marvelous Pigments is in here.
Right.
Qual's Feather Token, which I had someone use it in an adventure just recently, if you remember.
Oh.
Nerdy Guides, LJ had a Qual's Feather Token tree, and she replaced a dead tree with that tree. It was an important tree, and she replaced it with her Qual's Feather Token tree. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So let's get back to this, Anna. What is so wonderful about your Staff of the Magi and Staff of Power?
Well, they enhance the ability of the character in kind of interesting ways. First of all, they are versatile and they're really, really powerful, and then they go kaboom at the end, so to speak. I kind of love that part. And they have charges too, which I think that limits the use in a way, so to speak. And to me, it was weird that there were no rules for recharging items. They were supposed to just vanish after they've been used that many times, and then they go vanish. And also
you'll always find another one.
Yeah, and what I liked in third edition was that then there were rules for how to create the magic items, and that was when I started to get really interested in magic items, because then they became part of the campaign because there were creation rules for them.
So what did you just, Anna? Did you just say on? Let me just see here. Recharge.
Yeah. I think there were various alternative rules presented in Dragon and many other ways.
Yeah,
but I don't think there was any in the official DMG and Player's Handbook. There were no rules for recharging items.
That's cool that they used a feather token in an LG episode, Sam. That's cool. Yeah, we did it. We set up costs per charge and the levels and all that.
Yeah.
Because in Art Arcana it starts saying what level mage can recast it. Like here, alert 16th level cleric on Art Arcana.
Yeah. Can a spellcaster recharge their own items, or do they have to go somewhere and to have it done?
I'm going to tell you why I don't allow it, and that is the time constraint. They're not cloistered; they're running around. It may take lab equipment, so we don't want to go there. So we want it to be rechargeable at a college or somewhere where with the capability. Once again, it's a limiting aspect of the item. I've been giving items like not wands, well, some wands, but not staves and rods, which are more powerful, but wands or a special ring item or a special phylactery or something. It's usable once per day or usable twice per day or something like that, and then you don't have to worry about charges. So the Dragon's Graveyard to recharge. Was that in WoW?
No, man, that's D&D cartoon.
Oh, is that D&D cartoon? Okay. Because you had that in Desolus, you had that that graveyard area. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So early on, you had your magic items here, and there are some that are distinctly Greyhawk, and some that are generic. But then, and you look over here, and all of the artifacts, right, are distinctly Greyhawk. I think, right?
Well, at least they were kind of. I see it as they were supposed to be Greyhawk related. So because Greyhawk was kind of not the outspoken default setting, but it was kind of the in reality the default setting back then, because it was basically the only setting in the earliest days. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Sam brings up when we get to this on Arcana. This expands right on the magic items, and
it's a good book.
Yeah, it's a good book, and it has a lot of. Let me get here. I should have pre-done it right to it, but I didn't. Sorry. Which are a couple, and if you go to the extended tables on the miscellaneous magic items, right here, you get some more more stuff. In particular, in this area here, in particular, the Quiver of Alana is in here. Right?
Yeah, the Quiver is a good one because I would say a lot of a lot of D&D players know what that item is, even if they don't know who Alana is.
Yes, Greg, that's on Arcana. Absolutely. So, Prisoner Zagig's in here, which is a Shokanth item. Also in Expedition of Greyhawk, there's a Prison of Zagig. The Merlin Spoon, which we've seen it used as a torture device, unfortunately, but that was funny because of the wet cardboard taste. Yeah, so here, Iron Bands of Bolaro, which is Robalar jumbled up, right?
Yeah.
Heward's Handy Haversack, another one that's. Let's see, how about up here? I always thought Boots of the North were very Greyhawk too.
Just had a lot of those over the years.
Yeah. So, but named items, there's a fair amount, but that doesn't mean they're not. And Zagig has some other things here. Shoes of Farling is here. That's also in Shokanth. Yes, the Day of Thorn is a great semi-artifact. That's in another thing in Shokanth. So some really cool stuff. Yep, lots of stuff. Zagig. All right, so beyond this, there are items everywhere. Excuse me. Dwarven throwers are awesome. You heard that door. I've told the Dwarven Thrower jump in the pit story. I'll tell that again at some other time. But yeah, a broken Dwarven Thrower resulted in that. But beyond that, there are. Let me just go back. There are items all over that have been written or they're fanon or they're in Earth Journal or they're in some publication or they're in an adventure or they're in Greyhawk adventures or they're in Eyes the Evil. I mean, we can go over a lot of them. I think that's what we're going to do tonight. Right?
We're going to talk about the sources for magic items, or we're going to talk about magic items?
The magic items themselves. And
okay.
Just note where they're sourced. So let's go where they are. We'll pick some key ones. I can bring it up.
Just in the last 10 minutes of chatting on there, you already got half of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some great. Well, that's okay. We can discuss them. Absolutely, we can discuss them. And I'm assuming you got a whole bunch too, because they are.
Well, I have a few and a couple of ideas around them as well.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Ideas are good. So, all right, my kickoffs was something that you love or want to discuss.
Yeah. So let's back it up to one Sam mentioned, the shoes of Farlangen. This is an item that, upon rereading, I really wish I have had utilized in a campaign. Now, I think it might be because I didn't have anyone who worshipped that god, or maybe I just didn't promote it properly or whatever, or I just didn't use Unearth Arcana a lot. Could be all the above. But what I like about it is that it predictably will give you walking, a bonus to your walking. But if you're neutral, you get a bunch more powers. And if you're a worshiper of Farlangen, you get even more powers. So these are shoes. And I like utility items. I like these innocuous things. So shoes that give you like 8 or 9 powers. Individually the powers ain't that big of a deal, but all together it's a pretty damn good magic item. It's an item that I would want my character to have, not much less in my campaign.
So with the exception of Sam Weiss, who I know knows this answer, I want the audience to answer, or Mike. First, note of where they came from, who was wearing them.
All right.
Let's see. Not Sam. Sam, I know you know. Anyone? Bueller?
I mean, I know
Bueller.
What book it might be in. Is that what you're asking?
Where they come from. The crook around now. Where do Shoes of Farlangen come from? The first place you can get them as a treasure.
The first place I know of is Land Beyond the Magic Mirror.
No.
So it goes even farther back.
It just does.
It's cool that there are a Greyhawk item in Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Lost Caverns of Shokan.
Lost Caverns.
Okay.
And they are being worn.
Who's wearing them?
Drelsna wears them.
Oh.
That's how she can run all around the sphere.
Well, that's really bizarre. That's a really bizarre choice, and I think it's terrible. Based on the Unearthed Arcana entry, all she's getting is the movement ability. She's not neutral, right? Is she neutral?
She's evil.
Okay, so she's not getting the neutral things, and she's not a worshiper of Farlangen. So she's only getting one benefit out of the whole suite of stuff.
Maybe they weren't
that's a terrible design choice.
Yeah.
It
was more like a way of it was a wandering treasure chest, I guess.
You could have just gave her boots.
No, I am wrong. I screwed up. Okay. She was wearing slippers of spider climbing. You and me screwed up, Sam.
Is Drelsna a vampire?
Yes.
Well, that's another terrible design choice.
That's my bad. I screwed up. Flippers? See, even me, Mr. Know-It-All in all these old adventures, and Sam agree with me.
Well, even so, she shouldn't need the slippers.
Yeah, I believe they're in there too. Yeah. The slippers. She has slippers of spider.
Give her boots of speed.
Slippers seems to be very.
She could.
And slippers don't seem to be the kind of footwear you want to have when you go adventuring either. So slippers seems to be kind of anti-boots or something, but not slippers.
I think we had them look like We've had boots of speed. We've had slippers of spider climbing. Look like Nike track shoes.
Nice.
That was. Let me go to the slippers of spider climbing in here. I feel like an idiot. All right, so I messed up. But here we go. Slippers kicking. Slippers of spider climbing. They're right there, but shoes of farling should be right here too. Shoes of farling.
Yeah, those rug of tanning. Is that a?
Yeah, this is on Arcana, so yeah. And thank you there. Dan Weirdo Wayne for making me feel better by those 5 gift subs, and we're hyping it up. Golden Girl, Palor's Rug of Tanning. So there you go. Yeah, these are awesome. So we have never had a Farlane worshiper wear them. That's been the problem.
Have you had any Farlane worshippers at all?
Yeah, I've specially priest of Farlane done. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, we haven't had any outspoken worshippers of Farlane in my campaign so far, but I've had plenty of Farlane temples, clerics, and various things like that appearing, but we haven't had anyone who's chosen to be a Farlane worshipper yet.
So because of that, Troy, this is what we're going to do tonight. We're not going to do 2 giveaways, but we're going to do 1 giveaway, and we're going to double it. Even if big books. There you go. Someone's going to get some nice books. All right, sound good? Yeah. They are great. Easily maintain a pace of 20-30 miles a day. That's a lot in gaming terms. You're right, Mike. Neutral or neutral good. You get this. You can't trip. You can't. This is awesome. Step into a pit or snare. That's great. Or become entangled. Yep. So
yeah, I'm telling you, this is an item that if you get it at low level, you will never give those items away. Those boots.
No, absolutely. It's a great item. Or whatever. 18-inch movement rate, so it's almost boots of speed, but you don't get a better armor class. And that is, you got to be a worshiper of Farlane for all that. You can't become lost. Nothing walking on the earth can surprise you. That is nasty. You can tread as if you're on a smooth roadway wherever there's earth. You can climb walls as a 10th level thief, even without the thief ability. Thanks, Varl.
So if you made the cleric of Farlangen, that's the item you would want, right? That would be like making a lawful good paladin and then praying that your DM gives you a holy avenger. It's like an item that's supremely suited for one specific type of character. That's the only problem.
Well, here's the thing. Think about this, Mike. In a priest's hands, okay, you can climb walls, but it's not like it's in, and you got 18-inch movement rate, but it's still a priest, right? It's not like it's a double specialized fighter with armor class in -10 or whatever running around.
But as I read it, you just have to be a worshiper. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a cleric.
That's true. Yeah. You just use the example of a cleric.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I'm using a cleric. I'm just thinking out loud that how else will I introduce this item? And
see, this is how you introduce it. This is what I've done. I put it in as treasure and I know there's no Farlane worshippers in the group.
I think it's an item that you give out, and then that player becomes a worshiper of Farlane when they find out through Identify what it can do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have 1 pair of these in my campaign, maybe 2, but I don't recall any of them being actual Farlane worshippers. And we do have some Farlane worshippers in the campaign. I think there's 1 specialty priest and a couple characters that just seem to be wandering wild coast types and all. And thank you all for that massive hype stream. Thank you so very much. But it's a great item. My good start. Yeah. Good start. Let's go over here and go. Well, I had nothing to do with that. Real quick, this is a funny joke because Rob Kuntz contacted Anna and me and wants to come on in a week and a half on another show in the morning. And remember, Stone Horse, and Rob has that Stone Horse, and he goes, "I had no idea giving him that effing Stone Horse. I don't know where he got that from." That's right here on the other side. So. Had PC get a pair of those shoes. I'd have them convert to just for the benefit. Yeah. What if you were what if you were like Catholic neutral or your lawful good or whatever, and your deity is Palor, and you got I understand.
And you gift it. You gift it.
Yeah, that's exactly why he wants to come on, Troy. So I'm going to contact him and try and set it up for a week from Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So just so you're aware, we'll have a bonus Gavin next week. Yeah. So great item, Mike. Great item. Anna, do you want to go over a great item?
Yeah, I just tried to find the book because I can't find the physical copy. I only had the PDF here, but I have it somewhere in my third edition. That was a book called Magic Items and Compendium, and that is my go-to. Not so much for the specific items, but for the cool thing because it has all the different properties you can put in. Because I usually make up my own items for good and bad, so to speak, in my campaigns. And this is one of the areas I really need to improve as a DM, because my magic item tend to fall into two categories. And first of all, my thinking, a lot of magic items are at least in old school and second edition and stuff, and a lot of third edition as well, they tend to come from the mechanics, meaning they want to enhance mechanic, meaning, oh, you need this in order to boost X so you can become better. So they come, my magic items usually come from the story and from the setting. So they might not give you that much mechanical benefit, or they might give you an enormous mechanical benefit. But it's more like, if there's a lot of dragons, then someone would have forged a weapon to be good at against dragons, so to speak, like a sword or a spear or whatever. And usually I would usually go with spears, because they're probably, I see them as more effective against dragons than swords. The piercing weapon seems to me to be the weapon of choice against the dragon rather than a slashing one. But I've had both, and then I kind of look at the cool kind of various things that you can put in, and then I make a story around it. And I usually have, so my items, they're usually mundane magic items that are basically, I don't treat them as magical, I treat them as higher quality. So they are like swords and various things that are +1, +2, +3, so to speak, addition. That are simply better versions of it. They're made by a master swordsmith or something.
They don't glow when you detect them?
Exactly. You can detect them as enchanted in some ways, but they don't glow. They're not magical per se. They're just better versions of whatever it is. That's the standard. And my characters, they tend to, as soon as when they level up and get hired by and fight for some higher up, then they are given better equipment usually, because the soldiers, if you're going to fight for Katarina, she's not going to give you crappy equipment. She's going to give you good equipment. So you start getting +1, +2 items and stuff, just because she wants her soldiers to have the best equipment possible. So that's where I get a lot. And then the other category are more artifact-like things that are story items, so to speak. They are the things that have been cherished, like the Tome of Akunis, or we have a Ring of Moxlick, and stuff like that in my campaign. Those are a couple of the artifacts in my campaign. Now, these are magic items that have been around, some of them for maybe 50 years or 5 years, but they've been specifically manufactured. They have a lot of really, really cool stuff, but they also come with a lot of baggage, and they also story items rather than mechanical items. They come with the stories. If you carry it, that means that you get a lot of enemies just by holding onto it. That means that all of a sudden you become a major player in the story, and a lot of and we also, when it comes to recharging, I had an evil weapon in my campaign that Ius had made, and one of Ius top for one of his top henchmen, and that one was hungry, so to speak. So in order to I'm talking about 3.5 edition. It's the Magic Item Compendium. Yeah, Magic Item Compendium 3.5 era book, and so I had an evil sword. So if you first, it didn't do anything, but when you killed a good creature that day, then you got a lot of plus, so to speak. And the higher level it was, then so you got half. So you could kill the 10th level a good creature that day, or CR10 creature, then you got a +5 weapon for a while, so to speak. So the weapon rewarded you because the weapon needed blood, so to speak. So when it can taste blood and good blood, then it rewarded you with a lot of benefits, and otherwise it would not work, so to speak. It might even be blunter than if you went on. So it was a weapon with a purpose, and it could tell, it can warn you about enemies and stuff. So it heightened your perception and stuff when it wanted to. Not, it was the sword kind of, and the sword had a perception. So I rolled when the character was coming into combat that wielded it, that to see if the sword saw the situation, and then the sword kind of guided the character or hindered it, so to speak. And it took a while before the character who was wielding it realized that, this is an evil sword. And so I like that items should have character, at least powerful items, and they should be really tied into the story rather than just a bunch of mechanics additions, so to speak. So I really try to give them a story, who had them, who owned them, what they look like, describe them, give them interesting features. But either very too mundane or very elaborate items. It's all these kind of nifty in betweens where I need to work on. That's my weak spot when it comes to magic items.
Correct, Fragrack. It's a typo. It's a well-known typo that in that cat good, not lawful. Yeah, it's a mistake.
Yep.
So yep. So, here's a trivia question for everyone. That's a good one, Anna. A good discussion point. Name me 2 sets, or to your best ability, magic items, where the first magic item is set or made to destroy the second one.
Made to destroy the
2
second
of them.
one.
Two twice.
All right. So this is a quiz.
Yeah.
Universal solvent, sovereign glue.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, that's good. That's real good. No, that's really good in Arcana. I was thinking, so I was thinking the Gauntlet and the Sentinel BB first. But that's really good. That's really good, Mike. That is really good. Yeah. So I was thinking the Sentinel and the Gauntlet.
Now we were going.
That's there. One. The second one's tougher. Much more difficult. And here's my hint. I ran one live stream about a year ago. So Sentinel by Graham Morris. You get, and I showed the pictures they're scrolling through of the legendary Sentinel, and it's a sentient gauntlet or glove that is to destroy the gauntlet. The second adventure, and these are lower level, second, third, fourth, fifth. Adventures. They just missed my wall of fame. 3 for 6, it says on this one. Talisman of Ultimate Evil, a pure good one. Yeah, they're banned from my game. They're so powerful. They are to kill something outright with no save and swallow them up in the earth, and no matter what level they are. I think it's a little imbalancing. Yeah. So that's the first one. The second one's a lot tougher. But these are great items, and if you've never run these, I won't give it away, but these are really well done, even though they're in that bizarre area of Greyhawk.
Mm-hmm.
And the
UK
southern
area.
Yeah, the UK area.
I got it.
Yeah.
The portable hole and bag of holding.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That'll kill everyone. Yeah. Actually, if we go to Treasures of Greyhawk, and we go to Crossing into Steel, which is the adventure that I just ran, and Tom's character, Pellinor the Golden, got, and Santher, the paladin, the old woman paladin, talks about putting her body into her essence into this weapon, and here it is, and Santher the Holy Avenger. So we got a named Holy Avenger, whose power is to slay Xenos Zempor, the face of Xenos. So there you go. There are 2.
The face of Xenos.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty.
Yeah.
And a lot of good ones there. So rock clubs, I try not to use them unless I'm really in a foul mood. It's like Ear Seekers, rock clubs, all that stuff. Once in a blue moon, we'll use them. But there's some cool magic items. They're Greyhawk based. And this one, this adventure, if you haven't run it, it's like 8th, 9th level. Is cool because you go about the process in the adventure itself of kind of helping the creation of the item, and I like that. I really enjoyed running this adventure. That's one of the reasons why I recommend Treasures of Greyhawk so much for all the adventures in it, and that's one of them. A really cool magic item.
Maybe Big Mac, you're right. Maybe.
Yep.
Or at least whoever has the sword of cost.
That's a good one too. That's a real good one.
Yeah.
There, Mac.
I don't think they can though.
Yeah. So. Snot me the pixie.
I use this similar idea for my holy adventures now that I'm using in my Shieldlands campaign. That none of the characters have been given it yet, but it's going to come soon. And those are Valkyrian weapons. So basically, they have the former owner of the weapon, some high level paladin of some sort. They when they die, they become the guardian of the weapon. So they will guard and guide the new owner of it, and if when that owner dies or die in battle once, then they will fight over it, so to speak. Make sure that that character's soul is saved and maybe even resurrected if they're lucky, so to speak, depending on if they die a really heroic death, so to speak. That could be a really powerful that comes back as a solar, a planetar, or something like that, and fight for the soul of the character. And then when the character their soul is saved and they can return or they can be resurrected or something, it's after that they get one chance, and when they die the next come, they become the guardian of the sword, so to speak, so for the next generation. So the sword have gone in several generations, and the character will end up being the guardian of the weapon, so to speak, and guide the next generation of having it. So after a while they realize that they have to take good care of the weapon, because that's going to be their home after they're dead, so to speak, and that will be their they have to invest in it, so to speak, and use it. So they're part of the
That's awesome. Absolutely. All right, so since we're on this roll, name a weapon that's imbued with a spirit that's in published source in Greyhawk.
We have what is they called, the hunger, whatever that is in Elven but we have Black Racer and those
Black
Racer is like.
Do they have a spirit inside them?
No, I'm not so sure about that. Those are more mechanically inclined than story items, so to speak.
The Mac. That's funny. All right, so in my group now that's being run, the Knights of Guild, oh my gosh. Sarah Leone.
That's good, David. You got that one in. Mm-hmm.
Sarah Leone, the Bill's dual class paladin, especially priestess of Mayheen, has the following item. It is from Slavers. I don't know why it's called this, but it's called the Mouth of a Graveyard. Okay? And it was created by an evil wizard minister as a tool for a most loyal minion. The Kiowish wizard captured and killed a paladin named Brickell and bound her soul to the weapon. However, a paladin was stronger than the minister expected, and she was able to retain a certain level of sentience within the weapon. Instead of helping the minion track evil folk and convince them to join with she dominated the minion's mind completely. So this is a paladin wields this +3 longsword. I changed it to a bastard sword, actually.
Yeah.
Lawful good alignment. And it's cool. And look, it's got intelligence, ego, and it gives you an extra 20 hit points of lay on hands. So there you go.
Cool. Yep.
Yep. And that's
and David has another good example. The Sword of Kaz.
Sword of Kaz. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. That's a good one. Yep.
Kaz.
And a lot of these aren't detailed fully. They have these kind of blanks where you can fill in the features you want, so to speak. They're more generically described. And Dungeon Master's Guide, both first edition, second edition, third edition, and I think even fourth edition has plenty of magic items, and fifth edition as well. So the DMGs of every edition are a good go-to for all the classic items are basically remade for each edition. And so you can just pick whatever edition you prefer. Third edition, I think, has the most elaborate when it comes to the number of items, especially if you take like compendium magic items and stuff. There's more cool features and bells and whistles on the third edition than in any of the other editions. That's why I like third edition, not because all the crunch, but the inspiration. You have more kind of cool bells and whistles you can put in into magic items in third edition.
Right. Like, Bane against undead and all.
Exactly.
All
Meaning you have all the cool kind of stuff. And then even if you don't take them outright, you can still use them and tweak them thematically for your game, so to speak. And
I think third edition is best.
Much
like the character classes. You can have 6 or 7 classes.
Yep.
All right, Mike, give us one you want to discuss.
So let me back up again to the early Frenzy, and someone mentioned the Iron Bands of Bolaro.
Yep.
So, like, we know all about Bolaro and all that business, but in Unearthed Arcana, here's the part that really struck me funny reading this today. It says, when initially discovered, it will appear to be little more than a rusty iron sphere. But it says on closer examination, it has little bandings on a 3-inch diameter globe. It's not very big.
Right.
All right. It says when the proper command word is spoken, it's hurled at an opponent, the bands then capture someone, right? To paraphrase. The Iron Bands of Bolaro is a freaking Pokemon ball.
Yeah. Yeah. With no say, there's no
before Pokemon was invented.
Let's see.
It's at Ben Bars.
Yeah, too. Yeah, strong.
And that will destroy it.
So it's a freaking Pokemon ball.
Yeah.
It kind of cracked me up. Yeah, catch them all. So that was the only comment I had on that one.
That's good. That's cool.
Is Bolaro going around, with a pocket full of these, capturing people?
I imagine so. It says Iron Bands, so there's more than one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool item. Once again, I doubt Rob Kuntz had anything to do with it.
It's an item that I don't think I ever used because I was afraid of falling in the hands of my players, who then would use it mercilessly.
Right.
Yep.
But you don't see. This is what you do on those instances, unless they are very meticulous on reading. You don't tell them that if they throw it on like an ogre or giant and they bend bars and break it, it's destroyed.
Oh, well,
it's broken, right? Well, someone,
That's true.
So if they throw it on a super strong fighter or something, there's a chance they can get destroyed. So that's a good one. Good one there. Anna, do you got what would you like to bring up?
We have to mention a set of magic items, I think, because they are so tied into Greyhawks. We just have to them. They're like the one ring of Greyhawk, and I'm talking about the Theor parts that are the centerpiece of the Gord novels that Gary wrote. And because when you mention that, they're kind of in the artifact range, but they're still magic items, even if they're the most powerful, ridiculously powerful magic items, because they're supposed to be like the end of the world or bringing forth Tharistun or whatever they are, so to speak. But I think we just need to mention them because they are, and I think we should mention them just as a warning. Meaning, if you come up with your own campaigns, try to stay out of the creative and magic item that's going to blow up the world if you put it together or use it or something like that. That's kind of tricky, I think, so to speak. But it's kind of the Greyhawk. They have it, and I think in third edition they were called Regalia of Might, and were in a couple of different third edition books, and they were quantified. They were not called the Theor parts because that was something that Gary took with him for the Gord books. So they called them Regalia of Might, and they are the crown of good and the orb of good and the Regalia of neutrality. They expanded into all the alignments eventually, but originally I think they were the evil. They were the crown, scepter, and whatever staff. Or there was like 3 of them, evil ones, and then they became all over the place. That they multiplied and all sorts got into it, so to speak. So they are kind of an example of what not to do, I think. But you can scale them down, and you can give one evil overlord something that gives him or some evil lord some mechanic advantage and also story advantage, because they might have so much power that anybody belonging to a certain culture or something would find it kind of hard. So you can it will be like the Ark of the Covenant in Mini in one area. People there will be terrified because they have seen it or something like that. It would lead to a monster appeared in one area or something. You can tie a really powerful effect locally rather than make them something that the characters can use on a whim everywhere. And that is something I think is often underutilized. You can have You can have like an artifact that only works within the throne room, for instance, and you become all powerful, but within one building. And so the building is part of the artifact or something like that. So you can make it tremendously powerful, but only there and nowhere else, so to speak. So you can tweak it in that sense, so to speak. So you can have regalia might that the rune, that the throne or the room itself is part of the artifact, and it only works really well there. You might kill someone on the spot in the room or something like that. I created items like that for my Rel Devon campaign, that when you stepped in, you had to make a saving throw, and you were aware of the fact if you failed the saving throw, and then you realized that now I'm doomed because the ruler on the throne now has a chance to read my thoughts and basically kill me or do a whole bunch of stuff. So then you had to kind of succumb or flee or beg for mercy or something like that if you failed. If you didn't, then the ruler knew that someone stepped in and made the save, so the king could kind of hide and run and hide or something like that. So that was part of the deal, so to speak. So try and tweak your powerful items to not be end of the world items that can be used generically forever, so to speak. That is my advice. That mistake.
You mean like this item? This is in Greyhawk Adventures book. Fire Wand of the Sulwees.
Yeah. Yeah, don't make them generically usable everywhere or every day or whatever. It's kind of that's I think that's bad design.
This one may have been the device that caused the destruction of the Soul Empire. It may have been created to reproduce the event.
I think that versions of the Theor parts are everywhere in D&D rules because they were so they Gary probably wrote them down, and they're into all the books, and they're into the first two books too. So in second book is all about them. So TSR had them in and then Gary used them afterwards too. So there are various numerous versions of them in the rule books everywhere. So yeah.
Well, when we had Jim Ward on a few years ago, he said they wanted to name every single magic item in this and attach it somewhere to make it very Greyhawk based, which was cool. Yeah. And there's some great items in here. I'll show one of my favorites, and I got the picture scrolling through, so I got to find it. And that is this one right here. This Chalice of the Shield Lands.
Seems like Phantom NJ. There seems like it could have been some trigger happy Soloist mage that kind of.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope it was like no. a whole just. Yeah. The war got to a point, and it was an anachronism for nuclear war almost. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
I know. So,
and a lot of people have, when they analyze Tolkien, they say that the ring is an analogy for nuclear weapons and stuff like that because he wrote them in the 40s and stuff. So that might be. I don't know. I haven't heard Tolkien say either for or against in any interviews or anything. But a lot of analysts wants to write that into the
power
books,
really scales up quick in his books.
Yeah. Yeah, but he makes good stories in books and movies and stuff. But once you quantify it in rules in a game, that makes it worse, so to speak, in my opinion.
This is a really cool item, Chalice of the Shield Lands. This golden chalice was enchanted in response to the growing menace of the Horn Society, pre From the Ashes, right? Allows, and you got to. I got a little leeway here. I said neutral good as well, or lawful neutral. It allows a lawful good fighter to temporarily become a paladin at the same level for a single quest, and I guess that's the ceremony of them using the chalice here. I thought it was a cool item and a really neat idea, and we've had it in our campaign.
Yeah, but it sounds mechanically difficult because there's a heck of a lot of work to go over the character sheet to make it work, so to speak. Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
Just they take the vow, and for one, we've had it done in our campaign, and
no fear, laying on hands,
right? That's
true. Yeah,
So but it was cool, and it worked, and it's neat. It's something that gives a lot of flavor to the campaign. Hey, Curtis. Yeah. So that's one of my favorites in here. I'll go back.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
I'll go back because it's just got a really neat flavor to it. But I'll come back to other ones in this publication, and we'll see where Mike hits next.
I was going to stay in that book,
okay,
because I too love that book, and one that's kind of hit me recently on rereading is these Oracles of Greyhawk, and these are the crystal balls that are keyed to a certain land on the map, and you can once a day ask a sagely question on it. I love the idea of that. I'm regretting never putting one of these in my campaign, and I'm already formulating on how I should do this because I think it's a great MacGuffin. I think it actually has. It's a good way to disseminate some meta knowledge. If I'm doing a military campaign, one of the examples in that book is it says you can find out troop strengths. Great. One of the orbs is Horn Society. I use, unfortunately. But if you're Katarina and you're trying to take back Critwall, referencing the Oracle would give you some military knowledge there. I think the applications are unlimited for these items.
And it's also a really cool thing for the characters to have because you can tie them into the campaign more and the lore and deepen that. So that's a cool one. That's a good
really good one.
Right.
Really.
And then that will be my follow-up question. How do you guys handle divinatory or divination items, meaning the ones that give you things like that in general, like tells you things about the future and stuff like that?
They're subject to break rather easily, and I always talk to that stupid arrow of direction that Alan's character would throw up in the air maximum times per day, and on the 50th time he threw it up and landed on a rocket, split in half. It hit that wrong. I was like, that's it. I don't need this.
So it's the one you try to weed them out of the campaign, so to speak.
If they abuse it, but there's some that are like it's not in Greyhawk. There's one called the Eye of the Sea King, which one Walt's character has in our Hardby adventuring, which if you sacrifice a creature to the sea, if you kill someone in combat, sacrifice them to the sea, the item, you're allowed to divine a question from the sea gods once per week or whatever, which I don't have a problem with that in the course of an adventure, but I just don't want I don't want the augury spell going off 8 times during an adventure. I think that drives any DM crazy.
Well, the way I normally handle is that almost all of these things are divine, meaning that there's some sort of powerful being that gives you the information, either directly or through some intermediary. And first of all, even the most powerful god can only answer what they know, if they want to tell you. So you have to kind of earn it. And there's always a risk, because if you start being the naggy idiot who asks dumb questions to said god might be pissed off enough to come after you. So there is always a risk involved in it. I don't tell that outright, but there is always a risk that something bad happens for that. So it's I see them as a potential to gain enemies, and so which is carry an artifact and someone will hate you. That's unfortunate. So I've been in campaigns where people players don't want to touch stuff because it's bad. so it's so I've gone overboard on that. I'm sorry.
There's a paranoid factor that appears in games where it's too good to be true. Like if they think a ring is a ring of regeneration, it's too good to be true because I don't give them out, right? So it's like a trap. There's certain items that, I think a lot of DMs like that. So that's cool. That's Mike. So you just gave
I feel like I'm lucky. A lot of my players just don't do divination, and like I'm thinking about the sword Dream Singer from Life Shall Be Won. This is a sword that's all about divination, has augury and divination spell in it, can locate other swords, which is worked into the plot. But once you have all the swords, and then you have all this unlimited divination power at your hands, they never use it. My players have to be held by the hand to confer with divination. I feel I don't know.
It's because I think that they're respectful of not over abusing, going to that point.
Maybe.
Which is good.
But you give them a crystal ball, and we'll go snooping on all kinds of stuff.
Right, even though the people can, and it could be they're scryed on, which is I always find that entertaining. So, you never know. Keldon may especially with certain ones. But that
yeah, that's an interesting one.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oracles are a great idea there, Mike. So much so that you gave me an idea for Saturday. So I was working on something with that.
And it looks like so the backstory on the oracles is they were made for the former Lord Mayor of the city, Zagig, obviously.
Yes.
So all the oracles are things that are in the city Greyhawk and surrounding region, but I think it suggests that there could be others. So I think it'd be neat if there was a set of oracles for like over in the Great Kingdom side of the map, for instance, or Keelan side of the map. You know, you could make a whole set of them.
Dario asks, what is the eye patch called? Allows you to see through polymorph, but eventually makes you go blind.
Oh, geez.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm going to make a joke here. It's out of, you'll go blind, son. You'll go blind. There, I'm done.
Oh.
No, it's first part. Yeah, when you were first brought in on the 86, the Tom and Ace for first level acquisition of Frostbrand and Flame Tongue was momentous. Yeah, well,
Flame Tongue was. I remember when we played Temple of Elemental Evil first time. That was Flame Tongue was amazing. I never had a character who had one, but we had another character who made 5th level, and he had a Flame Tongue, and we were all like, oh, it can burn things, and he burned the ghouls and some of the skeletons and stuff, and we were like, wow, that was so cool.
Flame Tongue's the best troll killer because you just and you don't have to worry about getting that thing lit. Here's an eye patch, but it's not the one you're talking about, Dale. The eye patch at 10. This black patch is often found in possession of clerics and judges because of its power to discover truth. It's got to be over an undamaged eye, so you can see invisible, astral, ethereal. Yeah. Also, illusions of polymorph can be seen for what they really are. The downside is if you have a crazy illusionist running around who can cast Phantasmal Killer, it stays at -5. So you really think it's there. Oh my gosh. Which is a really... I killed one of Alan's characters with a Phantasmal Killer just recently. So there you go on that. Yeah, cool. But Dale, I'm not sure which one you're talking about there. So here's another one I love in here. All right, and you're going to say, is this, and Anna, once again, you're going to go, is this difficult to manage? It wasn't the one time I gave it out. And that is the Paints of Blackmoor.
Well, what do they do? I never heard of them.
So this set of multicolored paints was enchanted when the city of Blackmoor was in full power. After
paints. That sounds fun. That sounds awesome fun.
Yeah, you put that paints. You put each set has 5 applications each. I gave.
Okay, so it's 4 little jars with
I gave them 2.
Yeah.
I think there's 6 of them. It turns you into, transforms you into these other classes.
So you basically paint yourself with it, or
you put the paint on and you turn into a fighter.
And you splash it on your face or something.
Cleric, ranger, thief, paladin, or druid. And for lower levels, it's like a superheroism on steroids. So
so it's more like a potion in that sense because you can use it once and then you're done with it. But how long do they last?
A full day, and you cannot get rid of it except for a remove curse.
Oh, but that's good. Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
The early days, Tom, we're still feeling our way in 86, remember? So, yeah, we were feeling our way back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about the Staff of Sewell Law? Scarlet Brotherhood passed the vast swamp pattern. Is that in the Scarlet Brotherhood book, Moose? Because I can always bring that up. Yeah.
Sounds like it is, yeah.
The Nutty Other Bill had these with his character and used them really well. And I think he got them around 3rd level, a set of them. And by the time he was 5th or 6th, he had like 1 or 2 left, and that was it. So he used them the way I intended for situationally, which was cool. Yeah. So it was a neat item, something out of the ordinary. Like everyone goes, what the heck? What are these Qual's Feather tokens good for? Right? And so you got to get creative with some of the items. So yeah, and I think there's Paints of Blackmoor. You don't want to just coat yourself right at the beginning of an adventure. I'm a fighter now. You want to, if there's a use for it, then you make that change. Like you don't have a healer for the adventure, or your healer gets incapacitated. You can turn yourself into a cleric, become the healer. As an example. So that was a cool one. So keep it rolling, Mike and Anna. What do we got?
Mike, do you have something? I have another set of items that I think are legendary, but I'm not sure. I want to ask if they're part of Greyhawk or not.
Oh, cool.
And those are the orbs of Dragonkind. They've been around forever and a part this kind of set of artifacts. I guess they're and are they tied into Greyhawk specifically?
Yes.
Okay, they are.
Let me get you the article up, and our come on, and our good friend wrote this article.
Oh,
Roger Moore wrote this.
Okay.
The orbs of Dragonkind, the equalizers.
Yeah.
So the orbs here, and it goes, and here's the letter, and it's talking about Bakub, Duke Severin's in here, right? Talking. I mean, this.
What dragon issue is that?
June 1996. So I only have the article. I snipped it, so I just show the article, not the full dragon.
Okay. Well, do you know? You don't know which number?
Yeah. Does anyone know which? Please, someone give me this. June 1996.
Got a dragon on the cover.
Yeah, probably does. Yes, our good friend Roger Moore, who will be on the show Sunday evening for Gabbin, old farts DMs roundtable discussion. I call it veteran DM perspectives to be nice. So, but yeah, this is. Gosh, it says right here, this article can be handed to players in an AD&D Greyhawk campaign. Whoops, I'm sorry, I don't even have it up for you. My bad. Here we go. It says right here, this article can be handed to players in AD&D Greyhawk campaign as an adventure starter. The time is early spring, years 585 CY, at close of the Greyhawk Wars. The DM should have access to the From the Ashes box set, which sets up the background for the following. So there you go.
He definitely does a lore dump.
Thank you very much, Buzz. Excuse me, Mike?
I said he definitely does a lore dump in that article.
It is
where I don't even remember there being game stats. All I ever read was the lore.
He crushed it on this. This is my opinion. This is like, and he's done some unbelievable stuff with articles. This is the coup de grace of Roger Moore. He gave all of these orbs specific substance. And if we recall, our very first ever, Anna, fundraiser was to recover the Orb of the Elder Worm off of Miracle the Chaotic. That was fundraiser number 1.
Yep. I never liked them to begin with in a way, but I'm tempted to. I'm determined to make lemons out of lemonade or lemonade out of lemons because I want to make a future campaign about these and tweak them in a way that I like it, so to speak, as a challenge to myself. Because originally I didn't like the idea at all, and then I read this article a couple of years ago, and I was like, now it's starting to get some meat on the bones, and it's getting interesting. And I'll see if I can tweak them into my interpretation of the dragons. So I'm going to make them dragon eggs. So the dragon orbs were actually created by dragons in order to tame others or to be weapons against other kinds of dragons or something. I'm not sure how I will tweak it, but somehow I want to tweak it. So that was So I'm not sure, but I want to see if I can make something out of them that I like. Yep. And Roger really onto a good start there.
Yeah. And if you look and you read into these, having any of these is not good. It is.
So that's why
badly, which is really cool.
But exactly that's part of the fun, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
So note that this
makes them interesting.
Roger hit another home run here, and we can compliment him on this. On Sunday night's GM's Roundtable. So there you go. Looking forward to. And I know he sadly announced he will not be at GaryCon next year.
Yeah, I saw that.
Surgeries. It's a shame, but So really cool one. A great one to bring up, Anna. Mike, did you bring one up next? You can go again if you so choose. Go for it.
Okay. Trying to go focus on some like real obscure stuff, and we've done like the artifact shows before, so those are easy to discuss. So I was looking at
Gary may not be on. I apologize. Gary may not be on because of those fires. Did everyone see that?
Who's looking for Gary?
Gary was. Oh. I just remember Gary's sister's house almost those fires. They had flash fires there.
Down in Texas?
Yeah, down in Texas. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mike, to interrupt. It just came to me, and I just wanted to announce that. So yeah, go ahead. Return of the 8.
So in Return of the 8, there is several Tensor magic items.
They are great.
And again, these are items that I don't know how to introduce these to a game, except to just dish them out. Like you work for Tensor and it gives you a box full of magic items. But the one that is most fun to me is Tensor's Girdle of Giant Strength. Because if you think of the context, this is 2nd edition era, it's AD&D. Girdles of Giant Strength don't work for magic users. So Tensor decided to make a custom one that, is the exception. So now Tensor can have Hill Giant Strength if he wants.
He made a lot of fightery stuff, like spells that turns you into a warrior. And
it's almost cool like it's almost like he wishes he were a fighter rather than a wizard.
Yep.
He's got envy.
Yeah, which is really cool. I like that. Yeah.
But it also shows, if you go up against Tensor, he could probably kick your butt. So he's got a lot of buffs.
Yeah. So, in Maui, Jeff, I'm really sad to hear that, because that area of Maui is subject to that a lot. That's a shame.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yep.
So let me tell you a quick story. In my campaign, a lot of this stuff was given out when we ran Return of the 8 and with the Iron Brigade. So I saw this and I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do? So this Tensor's Girdle of Giant Strength, I made it. It doesn't say it in here. Only usable by lawful good mages or clerics. Right? So Anna, Tim's dad, John, Abdul Amir, is the one who has this.
Okay.
Problem solved with someone get super powerful getting this, because he's a half elf cleric mage. He has 19 strength now, running around, and he has he has a +5 mace. All right, so he gets one attack around forever. Who cares? And if he's melee combating, then there's something wrong if a cleric mage is fighting. Yeah, it's really they were sweeping all around Maui, especially. It's really sad. So another, Mike, this is a gold mine. I'm going to give you one of the most this is an imbalancing item in my game. This item here, the Boots of the Running Warrior, allows for something that I don't allow in my game, but I had to figure it out, and that is they can move and attack in the same round. It says here, also, no matter how far the warrior moves during a melee round, he still has a normal number of melee attacks. It's like 5e gold, right, for this guy. So Bill's character, his paladin, has this, and it's 150 movement instead of 120. So if he's away, he runs into combat. That first melee round attacks right away. He's only I'll never give another one of these out, but he has this item here too. So there's some really good stuff. There's also, isn't Tensor's Lucky Coin? Yeah, Tensor's Fortunate Coin is cool too. This is a neat one too. So there's some really great stuff in this. Once again, this is Roger Moore. This is Roger Moore writing. Yeah, a lot of these are spells.
I didn't even realize the tie-in.
Yeah, a lot of these are spells turned into magic items. Like this Deadly Strike, that's a Tensor's spell that they just turned into a sword ability. He did. Yeah. So, yep. It's really cool. Yep. Home run there, Mike, on that one. And good old Roger Moore on this. Yep. Okay. I got a ton of stuff open. Let me close something.
I'm really surprised that module only had Tensor items. There's a perfect opportunity for some IU's items, some Tourney items.
Right. Yeah. True. That's a true point. I think
Jalarzi items.
Yeah, it would have been a spot finally to get something for Jalarzi. But there aren't any. It's a good question. We could he could always say, "Oh, thank you." Is there a Greenwood Dragon Orb now? Oh, well. Listen.
Yeah, we have to invent one. Yep.
If you're gonna be a Gary Khan, I'm gonna put Ed's own dragon against him. You just note that's coming. Gary Con next year. Oh, Anna's in that group. Well, I gave it away, but that's okay.
Well, I think Gary or Ed knows that already. So I think he knew that when you showed it to him.
Yes, I have to
figure that out. Yeah,
I absolutely have to. All right, let's do an item because we don't know if Gary's going to be on. If he comes on, Gary will come back to it. All right, wrong one. 2 items. So in Greyhawk Adventures, we have. Let's go to amulets. We have the Amulet of Spine Castle. Let me switch over here. Okay.
That's a new one. Never heard of that one.
Yes. Okay.
I missed that one. Oh, okay. Greyhawk Adventures.
Yep. Yeah. The Wizards of the Kingdom of Arity created this amulet to aid in the war against the Northern Barbarians. After their fall, Spine Castle, the amulet disappeared. Once powered, this golden amulet can be commanded to radiate magical order in 30 foot. This art has a negative effect on all Northern Barbarians, raising their superstitions. So there you go. So they'll be like, they'll get the heebie-jeebies basically. So, it's a cool item, but this is not the only Spine Castle magic item.
Oh,
because Gary created one. 1 sec. I think it's an 11 Greyhawk journal. Sam, is it in leaving? Where do I get this from? I have it, and I don't even remember where it's from. I know I have it here. Holy shit! I got so much stuff in here. Give me 1 second. It's a key, isn't it? Ring. Key of Spine Castle. There it is. This one, the Key of Spine Castle. Okay. So
is that when the mayor of Spine Castle greets you and says the key to Spine Castle?
So we can ask Gary when he comes on. I think it's in the Living Greyhawk Journal. As befits an item created by a group of wizards led by the greatest mage in the history of the Great Kingdom, the Key of Spine Castle has a legendary reputation. It doesn't look like that type. I think it's possible, but I think it's earlier than that. But I could be wrong. Fashioned before the final spires of Spine Castle were completed, no one's certain what it looks like. So this key was presented as a gift to the first Marquis Caldine Veneer, along with a handful of lesser charms.
Oh, I was joking. That really is what it's for.
Yeah. Such as to aid him in the defense of the city. So there you go. The Key of Spine Castle was designed to watch over that trapped pool of energy. So, perhaps a circle of standing stones erected by the Flan Hillman ages ago worked very much the same way, for it said they were deeply attuned to the earth and its eldritch energies. So there you go. It's an interesting item. Yep. So, hey, Michael.
Hello.
That's funny, Troy. Yeah. So, I want to say it's either do you remember the article he did late on that had the hat of the Merlin's hat that I used and all that one that we discussed? It was a late article that someone did, had all those magic items in it. It may have been in that one, but I think it's a Living Greyhawk Journal. I see you shake your head at my yes. Well, yeah. So there you go. So there's 2 Spine Castle items that we are aware of. I don't know if Gary's done a third one, but those are 2 that we have. Their Spine Castle. So.
The lock of Spine Castle.
Yep. Basically, the key's a lock. Yeah. Or the key could be used up. So, Vecna, that's funny. All right. Lord Fell, I think in Dungeon 10 had Ring of Vampire. Lord Fell, yes. But Lord Fell's not Greyhawk, but I put him in Greyhawk. Yes. That's in the Threshold of Evil, Bent Metal. A Great Adventure. Yes.
Yeah, that's a nasty combo.
Yep.
Wow.
Lord Fell is like the buddy of that mage. Yeah. The locks of that's funny, Curtis.
Oh boy.
Yes, you were awesome. All right, anyone else you guys want to share? Who wants to share next? Keep it rolling.
I have one from the Dark Druids by Rob Kuntz.
Nice.
There is one Tarasque spike in there that is kind of cool.
Yes.
So there you have a little Tarasque. I guess you can have like a tooth or one of these little horns on the side or some little leftovers.
And it's enchanted?
Yeah. Yep, it's an artifact that has a rich history. It was originally given as a gift by the Dark God, and we know who the Dark God is. He uses a different name in the Dark Druids module, so but we know who it is. So we yeah, and then he says, and this is I think the really interesting bit in this, the log that Dark God, well, Thurston, the long dead founder and a hierophant of the Dark Druid cult. So apparently Thurston is behind the Dark Druid cult, which is it's kind of really well, that's the stuff. And so this ties into the Tarrasque spike, so to speak.
What page is it on?
I'm not sure which page. Hang on a second. I took copied that little bit of text from. Hang on a second. I need to find it.
I got it. I got it. Page 41.
Yep.
The Tarrasque spike.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It looks like a tooth in the picture there. So,
and look, you have here. Look at all these new magic items in here, and it tells you the page they're on. Bronze Trolls, page 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all sorts of cool stuff here. And here's the trash spike. Yeah, so it's neat. And Lehman's butter knife. All right. You don't have to tell me. Well, there have been published source adventures, including in dungeon magazines. There's that. Ever see that the blade that you shave with that you can't cut yourself? Yeah. I know that's in it.
Might be handy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that's in a dungeon. There's also in a dungeon, and we've all done this. There's a hopper with a disintegrate at the bottom. Right? We've all seen those. The porta potty. Shicks. Yeah, shicks.
Shicks.
Toothpick of the Lehman's labial locker. Yeah. So we've seen those goofy things. Yeah, this is Rob has got a really unique, dark and imagination. Always has. Yeah, it's
he's even worse than me. So yeah.
Well,
maybe.
No, definitely.
Torture Trees is on page 8 in Dark Druids. If you run out of
Trolls,
if Tarrasque, if Tarrasques aren't bad enough, then Torture Trees. Yeah,
we're getting to that in our Narwhal area against Dark Druids. Here they are. So bronze trolls are miniature trolls similar to Wonders figurines. Oh, that's cool. Torture Trees. This pair of miniature trees is hewn from
They do automatic damage. Yeah.
They grow into 12-foot-high leafless trees with floating branches. Oh, they sound like camp folks almost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, they're kind of bad.
Sam, where's that Lehman's labial locker at? You say it's an actual item. Yeah.
Temple of Elemental Evil.
It is. Yeah. Well, they were smart then. So, if you have an opportunity, Rob's got that new Roblar publication out, and then you pick up Dark Druids at the same time. So, all right. What page is Lehman's labial locker on? I don't even know where that is in it. So, oh look. So I type in Temple Elemental Evil, and Return comes up first. Isn't that wonderful? Oh,
yeah.
God. Knife of close shaving, polyhedron 82. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, in here are some great magic items too. Well, look, they're real Zugtamoy, not the hot Zugtamoy that you see now in those 5e publications. There you go. There's the ugly Zugtamoy. And I probably pronounced that wrong. I hack everything apart. St. Cuthbert, I use. Where are the magic items? Appendices. It's got to be after this then.
Getting warm.
Oh, look, I'll give Curtis a stroke. Look, Curtis. Juggernaut. There it is. Lehman's labial locker. It's right in here. 4 command words. Oh my gosh! It has 4. Oh, the first shrinks the box.
Good one.
The second causes the chest to function as one of the secret chest spells. The third causes the box to return to full. The fourth causes growth to quadruple dimensions. Wow. Okay.
Love the extra dimensional items.
Yeah. There's a pouch of holding here. Here's Fraggerack here. And it says chaotic good. Yeah, which is bizarre. Wand of a Wonder, which is different than the Wand of Wonder. Swords of Answering. They're in
but
here.
the Wonder was kind of fun because you can get so many. It was the wild magic precursor, so to speak. It was a staple. It was fun. Yeah,
it is, and to this day, we still have people who love using it. Tim uses his wand whenever he gets a chance.
Yeah, it's fun because you never know what comes out of it. It's been around in various editions, and it gotten good. In 3rd edition, there was some cool variants of it. That was awesome.
Oh, they made some good variants of it.
Oh yeah, there were. I think there were. We had, if I remember correctly, there were like Fey versions, and we had several different versions of them that went crazy on stuff. So yeah.
What's up, Vahid?
Nice Legends.
All right, just say yes or no. Did you email me the character sheet for next Monday night? The 3rd time I'm playing 5e. Just let me know. You probably did, and I haven't opened it. I promise I'll do it this weekend. So I'm going to be playing a 5e game, a challenge game, and how could it go wrong? I put it in my Discord. Just thank you. Just like we did that game and we came in dead last. Oh my gosh. So yeah. Some great stuff. All right. So Greyhawk wise, I know we're missing a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Probably.
We are missing a lot of stuff, but that's all right. We're having fun tonight with talking. Anna or Mike, you guys which want to go next with one?
We had one back in the day that we used that was early on that we got fairly early on when I played, and that was +1 arrows of sleep that had the sleep spell on them.
That is awesome.
That was actually powerful, so to speak. And you remember we got shot at by them first, and then we managed someone managed to survive and find a quiver of them, and that was one of the mistakes one of our DMs did, and it gave us a bunch of them, and we could use them. So that was actually one of their cool items, so to speak. Arrow sleep.
Yeah, that is 3E stuff from Greyhawk, from GHA. They're bent, right? Most of it. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about one of the nastiest arrows of all time.
Arrows.
And it's in Greyhawk Adventures. And then I love customizing arrows, and we talked about that in the outdoor adventuring. All the custom arrows I make, but this is nasty. There it is, the black arrow of Ayus. All right, +3. Carved from the bone of a black dragon, this enchanted arrow strikes a +3. It reappears and quivers each dawn after it's used. Once per day, the archer can call upon its deadly powers, causing the target to save versus death magic or die immediately. Good aligned characters save at -2. All you have to do is hit with it.
That's a good one.
Yep.
We all know
I need to make a new version of that. Yep.
Yeah, I have lesser black arrows of Ayus, which paralyze.
Yeah, because they are a little bit too nasty. So yeah. So I want to make them that do psychic damage and paralyze and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of.
So Troy, once again, Melsasset arrow that goes as long as the spell description says, not as long as Luke wants it to. So there you go.
Melsasset arrow returns to the owner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had that. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Anna.
But my Glushnag the Mighty, he has a spear that is an artifact, and that spear is really powerful, and it does damage when it goes in, and so on, and then he recalls it, and it does damage going out again.
Nice.
So as a bonus attack, he can pull it out, and that causes as much damage as it coming in again. So that is. Nice. That's kind of cool. So and he can throw it up to 120 feet. So
wow, it's almost like
yeah. Yeah, he can throw it really far
pretty far.
Oh yeah, and it hits hard, so to speak. So it and it can nail you to the ground or to something else as well. So and then he can pull it out. So yeah.
Okay. Some other like I like creating flare arrows, fairy fire arrows. They fairy fire the target. And also I love creating arrows that return into your quiver the next day. So, or bolts. I just gave Molly Hatchet, which is Darling's character, last event she went on, a +2 noble bolt of Furiundi, which is like a hunting bolt from the upper nobility. They shoot it at it, and then it reappears in their quiver the next morning. So it's a one-shot item each day. So I kind of like doing that kind of stuff because they're permanent. They're super powerful items because most of my arrows and bolts are not recoverable. One-shot items.
So it returns to the quiver it was last in.
Yes.
Yep. Nice.
Yep, absolutely. Just like the Black Arrow of Ayers does. Yep. Yep. So very cool. There are lots of Dragon Magazine articles about arrows and bows and all that you can get. You get some really good ideas.
Vargy, that's kind of interesting. Encyclopedia Modica only mentioned Greyhawk 127 times.
Well, having just read those books today, all 4 of them, I don't doubt that the word Greyhawk is only mentioned 27 times, but most of those mentions were probably in reference to like Greyhawk Adventures, like the source book that the item goes to, because I don't think the item actually has Greyhawk in the word. Like I had Oracles of Greyhawk. That's maybe one. But I think it was mostly referring to the source of a book. Of course, like we were talking, just about anything that's Unearthed Arcana, DM's Guide, all the old AD&D sources are default Greyhawk.
See if I got any.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah,
I love anyhow. I love Encyclopedia Magica. That set of 4 books.
Yeah, they're great.
My friends used to just flip to them books like it was a Christmas catalog.
Let's go to a naughty list Christmas Carol list. How's that sound?
All right.
How about we do that? Let's go to this naughty list Christmas Carol list and Eyes the Evil. How's that? So thank you, D-Bud. So let's take a look at some of the great items you can get in here for your specialty priests of IUs, or if you're a bad egg. Because they are really, and you know what I'm talking about, some of these are really disgusting. I know Riff has, who ventured, the Black Staff. You gotta be 13th level pressed of IUs to use this. Ghastly Blackwood Staff is a shod with silver banding and tipped with a skull, likewise banded and decorated with runes of Ayu's cult. It's got range of effects, but look at this. I mean, fireballs, screaming skulls, cause critical, acid vortex. It's disgusting. These
are all like Boneheart items.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them are lesser. The Bone Wand. This is great. It shoots bone shards out like almost like a cone of cold or a cone of something. That one. Clawed gauntlets are neat. Tear you apart with them. Here's one of my favorites: the Ghast Robe. Allows you to walk amongst the undead with it. So those Rick Grimes and all would love this. Used by Priest of Weird. It gives you a base armor class 4 too. But you do smell like a ghast, so it's hard to be around your companions with this. You can also paralyze as if a ghast by touch were wearing it too. So that's a really neat item. The Ghast Robe. What did I miss there?
Lemon.
Are dragons inherently magical? So would a claw to the bone fashion a weapon automatically be a magical weapon? No, Patrick. But if you could chant it would be enchantable with the enchanted item spell or crafting or whatever. That's what I would say. You guys agree, both Anna and Mike?
Yeah, that's
taking dragon parts and making a weapon out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Good question there.
Yeah.
There are several good products that you can list various monsters and what you can make from them, so to speak.
Absolutely. So that's a real good one for the naughty list.
Yeah, all those items are really cool, and they're also items that players knew what they were doing. They would destroy them. for the XP value, which is one of the things I liked about AD&D.
Yeah, here's the thing there, Josh. You hit another. See, you're being a baddie too now. That's for bad guys, what you're talking about in the slavers. And we looked at it, but we didn't go down that far. So give me 1 second here. Good point here. So the Earth Dragon cult, and there's argument over what the cult is, right? We just, if it's really an Earth Dragon or if it's another deity, or we don't need to go into semantics of that. But the priests of, let me bring this up. I'm right there on the magic items. Okay. So, good point here. All right, you got dragons. Here it is. The main one's the Earth Dragon helm. And it says, when a priest of Earth Dragon reaches 9th, he must slay a young, good dragon and bring its skull back to the temple of Mount Drekenkop. The larger the skull, the more prestigious the priest's new position. Diminished bronze and crafted into ceremonial helmets. They're imbued with the power of the Earth Dragon, and they bonus plus an armor class immunity to fear, and then they get your special, attack defense based on the color. And if you go and you look at the main priest, here he is wearing one, right? Or dragon helm. Yeah, it's a really good one, Josh.
Boy, such a thing should make the Earth Dragon cult like the numero uno enemy of good dragons all around.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think because it's so limited in location. I've never let them keep the helm. I've never let them. Come on. All right, so I'm going to give you an example. You got some crazy serial killer running around. They kill an elf, and they somehow enchant the head of an elf female or whatever, and they wear the skin of that, and then you kill them. You're going to keep that? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. This is a good line dragon skull.
That's a great point, Jay. I really love that way you make the item interesting, story bound, and still untouchable, or unusable by the characters in a way. That is a great way of doing it.
Thank you. I see that as
that's a great way of tainting magic items by giving them a story and tying them into and name the good dragon, so all other good dragons know where it comes from, so to speak, and they will be your mortal enemy forever if you wield it or use it.
So we've killed very few in our campaign. We're active with the Earth Dragon. We killed a couple. When they have done that and they have captured, this, they have given it an honorable interment burial of the skull, and get ceremonial wise the players in respect. It's not all about power, Josh. I'm just busting stones. So, all right, Mike, Anna, bring us up something, but it's a great one you brought up.
Yeah, there's an interesting correlation when I use the evil and Temple of Elemental Evil, because in I use the evil there's an ebon skull, the ebon skull, and then you have in Temple of Elemental Evil is the orb of gold, and they are so similar in the descriptions and stuff that you can almost assume that it's the same item in a lot of ways.
It's close, but I think the Orb of Golden Death is slightly more powerful because
but I'm thinking more thematically, story-wise, meaning the Golden Orb is one of these skulls that I use made that are tied into the temple, so to speak.
Yeah, if I recall the background story about this orb, this is the one that's lost in the nodes, right? And you need to find all the 4 connecting little gems to put into it.
It's a classical making it into a puzzle thing.
Right. Yeah. This is the one that I seeks because of that. And there are 3 ebon skulls, and there's only one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is the one he really wants because this is the most powerful one. If I'm wrong on that, fake news, listen.
No, but it's kind of
no, you're dead on.
All these skulls would have made more sense if his daddy was Orcus.
So there's another great story in I Use the Evil about one of them getting stolen from Ayuz by a thief named the Passing Shadow, and she fled into the Vespi.
Ooh.
So yeah, this is a great sidebar story. So in my area of the Vespi and the Eagle's Nest up there with the high level characters, they have this thief who's hiding out at a location. Her name's Dominique. Turns out, put two and two together. I think it was Bill figured out. Oh my God, is she the passing shadow? And the answer is yes. So they actually have her hiding out because they're deep in the Vespi Forest, and that was right out of a published source. Yeah, so this is where I love the little blurbs that are written 1 or 2 lines, and you take it and you run with it in your campaign. So yeah, really neat stuff that was written up. Like all right, From the Ashes goes a little too far, but Sargent wrote some great content, really, really good content. So, am I Wonder Woman? What? Josh, you got Eric Mona coming to Gary Con yet? If you haven't finished that task, you need to keep on working on that. Just busting. Yeah, I know. I'm busting stones. That's okay, boss. I'm just saying, man. So, Mike, what do you got?
Hey, so did you know there's magic items in the Scarlet Brotherhood book?
That's good. Let's go to it.
Oh.
Specifically, there's one that I thought was quite game breaking. That's the Cloak of the Coatl.
Give me what page it's on, Mike, and I'll jump right to it.
It is in the back.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't make note of that stuff.
No problem.
But it's a feather cloak that grants you flying, and it allows you to turn invisible, which are like 2 big DM red flags, right?
A flying invisible thingy. Wow.
Flying invisible.
That's a double whammy.
Yeah. So interestingly, though, it says it's only found in the Immediate and Monoland regions. So they got that going for them.
And Quaddles tend to be good aligned, so I don't think they want Scarlet Brotherhood people getting a hold of their items. I can't find it. The print in this book is so small.
Yeah.
I had to save on paper. It was expensive, and they didn't have that much money when they were near bankruptcy when that came out, I think.
Well, let's be thankful Sean Reynolds put it out, right?
Yeah. It's the only published book outside the Flamis, right?
Yeah. Technically, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you don't count,
I can't locate it. But that's okay. You told us what it was, so it's in here somewhere. Great one.
Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up. I just thought it was kind of interesting that a Medio and Monoland, they should have their own regional magic items.
Yeah.
Stuff thematically with their deities or the creatures that inhabit their environment. And so Scarlet Brotherhood, while it has a handful of them, you could do a whole book probably on Omen and that kind of culture stuff.
You have Staff of the Serpent. That's one that you can use down there.
Oh yeah, Yanti magic items. That'd be something.
Yeah. There's some great. Digging into the Greyhawk lore and digging into almost every. Sorry, Josh just said something funny. You dig in. Almost every adventure has some unique stuff in it, here and there, right? You just find this stuff, little tidbits that you remember and you use in your own adventures. Like I always when I'm really in a foul mood, I'll throw in a crossed potion that Len did. I'll throw something in there where I've crossed 2 of them and I already know what the determined effect is and it's not good. Oh yeah, all the time. So yes, I should have a handler at the con. Yeah, I agree 100% there. Thank you, Curtis. I should. Yeah. You guys are freaking crazy in the chat tonight. That's so funny. All right. Mike, you didn't bring these up yet. And I think these are all, and I used one of these just recently in my game, and these are all from Greyhawk Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember you just these are all for your site, right? So
Oh
I
yes. Okay.
yeah, so we have all these
Good
from
one.
Mike's site. Gloves of the Paladin. These are all from Greyhawk Wars, so they're really, really. If you don't have this Greyhawk Wars, you'd never know about these.
Converted from a board game to
Yep.
the role playing game.
This is
Okay. Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
did a
Yeah.
great job on
They're
this
all
post.
unique.
Yeah, so you can find
I
this
forgot I did
post.
those.
Yep. Gloves of the Paladin, Dora's Deadly Poison, Drawmage's Dagger, Bowl of Storms, Rary's Bulleye Bow, and this one is the one I gave to Mike Disney's character Scarn Wolfmaster, Bigby's Bottled Breath. So and
Nice.
yes, and he got it, and it knocks you over 4d6 damage from a breath. It's a breath weapon on it. So yeah, he I think he still has one of these. I think he gave him 2 of these. He still has one Bigby's Bottled Breath left. So there you go. There's a whole bunch of Greyhawk items that Bigby's Halitosis. That's funny. There that I guarantee you 95% of the community has never seen before are these. So, go to Mike. You don't need to go. You don't even need to go get the download of it. You just go right to Mike's Greyhawkery site and look at these because he's converted them and told you what they did already. So it's pretty cool. Very nicely done job on those.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I really would like to know who Dura is.
Yeah, Dora sounds like a what do you call it name, right? It sounds like a dwarven Middle Earth name, correct? It does. It's a but who knows who Dora? That's a good point. Who wrote Slavers? Is it Zeb Cook? Who wrote that? Wars.
Zeb, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Zeb would know. And he'll be at Founders Legends at GaryCon. We could ask him. Yep. So let's see if we can ask him. Maybe he'll remember who Dora is. Good question, Mike. It's a good follow up. Okay, Anna, what do you got?
Let's see. There was something. Now I'm looking at Mike's awesome site here. So that was something. I was thinking, how do you guys handle cursed items? Or do you use cursed items at all?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Absolutely. Sparingly.
I like delusional curse items.
Mm-hmm.
I like to, they think it's one item, but it's actually the other. That kind of stuff. I like items that you can't get rid of. You throw it into the ocean and it appears on you again. That kind of curse stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I've used items that I have in this campaign. Dragotha, a little stone statue, a little statuette, or not a bone statuette, and that one, if it's that Dragotha likes a person or wants to snoop on it, it will come back, so to speak. You can throw it away and it will come back to you again. So that is a cursed item in a way, yeah. But it's not like giving you negatives. It's more cursed in the sense that Dragotha can keep an eye on you, as long as you have it, yeah. Or as long as she can make sure you have it. So yeah.
I like potions as cursed items a lot. So
yeah.
I'll give a bad effect on something like a super. I've given out these super double extra healing potions, which heal instead of 3d8, 6d8.
Yeah.
Except you have to make a system shock, or you get aged 2 to 5 years or something, because it's just it affects you.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know if that's an evil quirk or a curse or whatever, but yeah, we'll
It's
do
like one of these gambling items. Meaning you get a lot of positive every time you take it, but the chance of something getting screwed up increases every time. That's like the deck of many things, the most notorious magic item or artifacts ever in the D&D, but especially in gambling. You get a positive, and then your character dies, and you always you're tempted to take too many cards. So yeah.
So I've done a reverse keen weapon curse, Where and everyone knows my rules. If you a keen weapon in my game crits on a 19 or 20 instead of a 20, fumbles a 1. This reverse curse keen fumbles a 1 and 2.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a great one.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes, fumbles on a 1 or 2. Yeah,
that's a cool. Yes. You can kind of combine it. You can say you have a magic weapon that is really effective and does a lot of extra damage, but it's also cursed in that sense that you fumble more often with it too, or something. So as a compensation, yeah.
And I'll caveat that, Jeff, with scaled down versions may appear. We already said Talismans of Ultimate Evil are never going to be shown again, because to take a first level character could have that. Open up a freaking hole in the ground and swallow up a 20th level good cleric with no save. It's just too devastating. Those are gone. They're out. Helms of Brilliance, too powerful. Disgusting item.
Yeah.
Robe of Eyes, drive me insane. 360 viewing arc, can't be surprised. Yeah, I do not like Robe's Eyes. Cloak of Displacement is another one.
Cloak of Displacement.
Jason Bullman and PaisoCon, he said the wrong thing. The Robe of Eyes, or the Eye of Robes, and so then he had to see if he can stat that up somehow. It was kind of funny when he presented magic items, and he said it the wrong way, and yeah.
Cloak of Displacement has definitely caused a lot of friction in my current 5e group, because in 5e rules, a Cloak of Displacement is an uncommon item, which means it's as easy to acquire as a +1 sword. And it's it's just game breaking. It should be a rare or very rare item, in my opinion. It's easy fixed.
Decks of Many Things are another ones.
You don't like Deck of Many Things?
They completely take a established 43-year campaign and put a wrench into it.
That's true.
If it was a one adventuring group and we didn't have any repercussions, but my God, I try and stay away from them. They were fun back in the day. If you're Sneeze wearing a Robe of Eyes, do all the eyes close too? That's a great question. So the thing that can blind a Robe of Eyes is a continual light spell, but that gets old. And continual light spells, on it. I just don't want to deal with it. So yeah, and I've given. I think there's one Vorpal sword in my campaign. There are weapons of sharpness. The critical hit will cut off a limb, which could include the head, but the other limbs. But that's a critical hit. That is a natural. That's not keen, or that's a natural 20 only. So yeah, we have sharpness weapons. I allow them. I also. The ones that, oh my God, my wounding weapons, I'm not a fan of, but I give them out once in a blue moon. It's hard to keep track of. Every time you hit, you're going to bleed 1 point for 10 rounds. Then they get hit 3 times. You go, there's 10 rounds here, 9 rounds here, 8 rounds.
Do you use bleeding damage? That ongoing damage? Do you have that?
Yeah, our Saxon character class has a bleeding wounds effect. Yeah, so and necromancers and other spells like that. But it's not all over the place. Like fighters can't do that, or monks or whatever. It's but there is some of that. Yeah. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's insane. Wow, that's the worst draws of them I've ever seen. Sam, was that list? That's funny. Let's see if I put. Yep, Wand of Wonder and Wand of a Wonder. Yeah, there's 2 different wands.
Oh, okay.
The Wand of a Wonder is in Temple of Mental Evil. Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, so when your Wand of Wonder runs out, you get the Wand of a Wonder too.
Now, what's it called? The Bag of Tricks? I like the Bag of Tricks. That's a good item.
I've heard of it, but I can't remember what the heck
pulls out little. I give the ones with the small animals in it. Let's go to it.
A Bag of Tricks.
Yeah, you get to pull out some little chipmunks and stuff. It's an old
Robe of Useful Items. Yes.
Bag of Tricks.
Is it a first edition era thingy?
Yeah, here it is. So there's 5 different bags.
Yeah.
Type. So yeah, if it's type 1 to 5, look through a weasel to a stag. Oh shit! I'm sorry, I don't have it up on here. My bad. Here it is. Type 1 to 5 is Weasel through Stag, and that's the one I kind of give out. Look, there's a boar and a wolverine on here. That's not bad, right? Type 6 to 8 is rat, owl, dog, goat, ram, bull, bear, lion. Here's the 9 to 0. Jackal, eagle, baboon, ostrich, leopard, jaguar, buffalo, tiger. So there's your bag of tricks. So you don't know what you're going to pull out. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, one of these little animals. Yeah.
He will fill a small fuzzy object, which you're on and toss 1 to 20 feet away. It'll balloon into one of the following animals, which will obey and fight for the individual who brought it into being until the current combat terminates. All right. Yeah. So. Yep. And 18 to get useless Disney critter. Yes. Yeah. Hey, Rocky. Yeah. So, but weasels can be nasty, but it's not giant versions. Now the stag is. The stag's giant, but the lynx is giant, but the weasel's not. The giant weasel does a lot. Once it attacks you and bites onto you, it's until it drains blood. It's crazy. But yeah, it's a cool little miscellaneous item. I don't have a problem with giving them out here and there. Another one I love. Is it right here? Fairy Tracks? Or is that in, I think, no. That is in Antarctica. I love Boots of Fairy Tracks. I think that's a cool item. So we come up here to Boots of Fairy Tracks. Here it is. And I usually assign them. And one of them I always throw in there is Dung Beetle. So, yeah. So the wearer of these ordinary looking boots is able to command, alter the tracks you make. And here's some of the different creatures. So I usually will make one's a giant, one's a goblin, one's a dung beetle, one's 3 or 4 different effects, just so you can have throw people off the trail. Or if you're a bandit type, or any kind, horse, you could actually have it look like you're getting away on a horse, but you're not, or it's cool. I think it's a really neat miscellaneous item. So. All right, what other items do we have here as we're winding down? It's 9. Look at that. Time flew by again. Time flew by. Or we can summarize, or if anyone has anything else they want to put into chat of some ideas of stuff. I mean, there's so many great Greyhawk and useful items. I know we just scratched the surface. Just scratched the surface on this. So.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a fun little run through the some of the books. It has definitely reminded me that there's a lot of magic items I need to implement in my games. I always tend to rely on the old, go-to ones that I overuse. And there's a lot of really flavorful things I should be giving out.
Absolutely, Mike. And
I've given out. Oh, sorry.
No, and I'm going to here because I know you like some of this stuff. We're going to page 54 of Bastion of Faith.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
There are some great magic items in here. Here you go. Dysarians, the blessed items. Yeah, all the Dysarians in here, just great things. This is in my campaign. Skin of Stone Cossack. +3 cloak of protection, where you get some special abilities with it, and you can also trigger effects that are spell-like effects, shield, blur. It's a really cool item. You can also go into a stone form. Neat stuff. Vestments. These are actual magical vestments. Yeah, great stuff. Sovereign Trustable of Sheen, and they come up with really cool names. So go through this book. Check out all the great magic items in here. I know Anna will probably be, as she gets deeper and deeper in this book, utilizing some of it. Go ahead, Anna. I'm sorry for.
No. It's that was a good one, and I'm going to dig deeper into it. I've just been to the lower part so far, and I need to go. But for my campaign now, I just handed out a set of it's magic lantern that goes with puppets. Magic puppets for one of my the character Cedric. He's kind of a roguish bardic type of character, so he can use it to create magic puppet plays, and that one is way more powerful than meets the eye originally. So we'll see what he will do, what the Cedric will do with that thing, because he can do some really cool stuff with it. So yeah. Puppets and then some. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And that being played at GaryCon.
Yep.
Be careful what you wish for. So, all right, Mike. So you summarized. Great discussion. Lots of we came up with some ideas. Some stuff is specific to Greyhawk, some of it's not. But there's just great and miscellaneous. We didn't really get into the super mundane. I talked about a warm brick that I have. The razor. There's boots that keep you warm while you're walking, or a walking stick that's magical that keeps your body warm. All that kind of cool stuff. You can make that up yourself. A lot of it. Traveling magic items. That help you with inclement weather. Mantle Celestian's a great one too. There. Wow. Yeah, we missed that. That's a good one too. Yep.
I didn't miss it.
You got it on your list? Yeah, we just didn't get to it. Yeah, Mantle Celestian's good. Let me see. It's in. Yep, here it is. Let me go to it real quick. I have it right up. This is a garment of black cloth. The color of the 7th order of Celestian, and here's it gives you a lot of traveling ability. Yep, shelter, food, +1 saving throws, and so basically it wraps you, as if you're you can go out into outer space with this and be fine. And it has in your pockets you have all these really cool things. It's a really great item for travel. Yep. Yeah. The manual has a special power which is conveyed to wear only if she is a clerk of Celestian. You can see the aura of any stranger met, so as to give warning of evil, neutral, good intent.
Kind of like them shoes.
Kind of like yep, absolutely. Good one to bring up there, Sam. Oh, nice for 3.5. Oh, that's cool, Fuzz. The mace, the mace of talisman and Crevel and the helm of wand of Lineage in the spinner. We didn't even talk about the undying magic items.
It was probably in our artifacts episode.
Yeah, true. So Anna, anything on closing on this? And we'll do the.
I think it's something that I need to dig into way more than I have. It's one of my neglected bits as a DM. So yeah, I definitely need to do my homework more on this.
It brings a flavor to Greyhawk, specific Greyhawk items, and that's what's so cool about it. You just wow, that
and it's a staple of fantasy too. Meaning from Tolkien to all fantasy stories, you have enchanted items is one of the cornerstones both of fantasy and of D&D. So I need to do more about it. Yeah, more with it. Yeah.
All right, let me do some shout outs here. How's that sound, Mike? What's going on? And did you have fun at Gen Con?
Yeah, how was Gen Con?
Yeah, I had fun at Gen Con. It definitely reminded me that GaryCon's more fun for me now at this age. So I missed Gen Con and I don't miss Gen Con at the same time. You're talking about pictures. I took more pictures of the Airbnb I stayed at than Gen Con.
That's funny.
That's what I was impressed with. It was the place we ended up staying at.
That is funny.
So, oh well. And it was also fun because I just went with a different group of people, so they got to experience it for the first time. But there was really, nothing else for me there. There was no events. There was not a lot of people. Artist row, I knew none of the artists. I knew none of the authors. I really felt like I've aged out of Gen Con.
I'm starting to get that sense too, in a way. Yeah.
So it's it's a great con. Apparently it had record numbers, but
85,000 I heard.
Probably not for me anymore.
People are getting COVID now. They're going home too.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I saw Mandy got it.
Yeah.
Because you saw how close people were there, but Gen Con's gotten away from it. Yeah, Jeff, but it serves a purpose for the masses, and that's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. But,
I still think that if you're into tabletop role-playing games or board game, you need to go to Gen Con once in your life at least. So
everything is still there.
At least, yeah.
I just think the reasons for people going there have shifted.
Yeah.
But all the stuff's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, other than that, I have a new blog post on this topic we just had.
Oh,
so
awesome.
all the magic items I mentioned, and then a lot that were mentioned in chat are in this A to Z list.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
have fun with that.
Great one.
So there you go.
You even have an X Zarin cloak.
Right.
Nice. Great one, man. Yeah. Look at that. That is awesome.
Where is this is items 2. Where's the article medic items number 1? It's back in the day somewhere.
It's at the very top, Anna. It's the link that says magic items.
Oh, gotcha. There you go. Thank you. Yep. Awesome. Thanks. Yep.
This article, I tried, much like tonight, I tried to stay away from talking about weapons and artifacts. Yeah. I was trying to see how many Greyhawk items I could do.
Wow. That post was March 24th, 2014.
Yep.
Time is flying by.
It's so good that you're back to blogging again.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Anna.
No,
but you're doing new articles and it's awesome. So yeah.
Here and there.
It's good. Yeah. A good topic is few and far between.
Well, Mike, thank you. Anna, what's up?
I posted today my second article about GIS, the next step, data entry.
That's
and
awesome.
There is also a first taste of a preview of the crit wall map. So you can download the full resolution crit wall map if you want to in there. So I put a link to it there. So it's open for everybody. And so it's a short one. I wish I could write a longer one. I'm going to write a long one about Crit Wall when I'm done, but because there's still probably about more than 50 streets I need to name, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. I've named tons of stuff already, but there's more to be. So that one will evolve over a few months. So there will be new updates coming every month or so with more stuff added. And it's just a way for me to getting into doing GIS data entry and getting undefined. And for being my very first GIS-based map, it's not complete by any means, but it shows the potential, and it's really cool. You can do some amazing stuff with it. So it's kind of it's once you set it up, it's very easy to do maps with it. It's super easy once you set it up. But there's a lot of pitfalls. I deleted 4 days of work without understanding it.
Oh, wow.
So I screwed up a database and I thought I had everything in Dropbox, but apparently there's some setting that says that it stores it in the standard document folder that QGIS figures out that is on the Z drive. So I basically wiped it and had no backup copy. So you learn the hard way sometimes. So that was a lot of cursing and yelling for a couple of hours before I got over that one. So, but I got over it, and it was learning. That's why I'm doing this for my own campaign where I can screw things up rather than I use tried and tested methods when I'm doing commission work for others. That's because I don't want to do mistakes like this. Rookie mistakes I did make for my own stuff, so to speak. But it is coming, and it's a kind of it's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. So it's still early days, but it's coming. And I've mapped. I put in all the metropolises, all the cities, and I was starting to work on towns when I deleted all the cities. And so now I have to redo all the cities in Greyhawk again. But it's good. I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to do projections and georeference stuff, and it's working. And now I'm working on how to publish maps and stuff from it and learning. So it's kind of it works. So once I can get this up and running real fast, I can do some really cool stuff, and you can republish things in a lot of different formats and stuff. So it's a good one. And also this week there will be well, first I can mention that I have there's a link to the merch at Noble Dwarf, and I think he added some more stuff. So there's tons of stuff if you want art and various heraldry and mugs and t-shirts and whatnot. So again, I'm just going to mention it. The tip jar is for me. The item cost is for printing it. So yeah, except for the ones that only have my logo on it and nothing else. So, but on Friday there will be a mapping. I will sit and map for a couple hours with Linda probably. Otherwise, I do it myself. So there will probably be a lot more GIS and some Photoshop work on Friday, and then we have a game on Sunday again. It's the week when there will be some puppets and stuff probably, and some rituals involving fire and some other stuff probably coming up in Crit Wall. So yeah, so that's what's going on at the moment.
Very cool. And thank you very much. And we got
we have a meeting of the Troll Lords on Friday, and yeah, it's a busy week. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here is the big combat as we're finishing up here the final, and there's some wall of fires on the walls and stone giants and hill giants and all sorts of other fun things as the fight goes on. This keep to the left is so impressive that Bill has done. There are actually 4 playable levels inside, as you can see from this picture. I'm not going to utilize them all, but yeah, so there you go. It can actually be usable inside. Really neat. And that we continue and tomorrow night. We finish an old nemesis as the Dark Brotherhood is up to their old scheming ways, and they'll find out why. Where is Bigby on that table? Bigby is nowhere to be found on that table. There, Troy. I don't, no Rumple's on that table. That's a way better gnome than Bigby. Hey, it's all good, Jeff. It's all good. So that'll finish that up. This will lead right in, because the adventuring group for Saturday is going to be playing on the same terrain, and you'll have to see how the story goes. And that is adventure number 1010. Always count on the dead. So, Ed Greenwood, Eric Menke, Myriad, Little Bird, Darling Creepshow, and Duragrax, who's the DM for Darling Creepshows. It'll be his first time playing. He's playing a ranger. That'll be the group, and it won't be Slav characters. It'll be Myriad will be playing her witch, and Darling will be playing Molly Hatchet. So it'll be more Ed. Yes, more Ed. Ed will be it'll be a fun group on Saturday. Anna's on standby. Who knows? Anna may be playing too. So and then Sunday we have the DM's roundtable for veterans: Stephen Chenault, the Inked Mage, and Roger Moore. We'll go over some thoughts that they may share with us on being old like me. And DMing. So, experiences, a lot of good experiences there with that group. That'll be a fun discussion that Sunday night. We do it all over again the next week, and looks like, cool, Rob. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, and I know Troy's gonna go, go for the DM assistance. All right, let's do the giveaways. I thought there was something else I had to mention, and I don't remember what it was, so we're not going to worry about it. There was probably something else. Was there something out there I missed? List of many ways Stephen Chenault can kill you with water. Yeah, absolutely. Last call, extremely drawing the winner. You get your 2 choices. So go 1 thick, 1 regular. So I got a Durbanford or like in Search of Adventure, and then we'll throw you can throw in a Belgian Speaking, a Ravenloft. We got a City of Greyhawk here. We got a lot of thick ones, and then we got thick and thin. So I can put it in one package. That's the main reason why. 2 thick ones that would be tough to fit in those packaging. So just let me know. Here we go. Let's pick the winner tonight. Yes, they overwatered the kumquat tree. Yes, I think they killed it. Here we go. Going to close this out. Giveaways. Let's see who wins tonight. Yeah, so the weird thing is now is I gotta switch it out, close it out, and then come back in because the button to draw when I close the giveaway is missing. Let me open it up to max. There it is. Kith Bigman. Kith Bigman. Is Kith Bigman
That's
on?
A new.
I think they've won once or twice. Yes, there you go.
Awesome.
I think you won before. Yeah.
Cool.
So give me some idea what you want there, Kith. I think I got your address too, but I should have it in recent. If you like basic games, this In Search of Adventure is awesome. Gives you a B1 through 9. This is a good one. And then something from the classic realm. I have Ghost Tower of Inverness. You know, I got a whole bunch of classics. S2, I got White Plume Mountain. So just get with me and we'll get that all worked out. I don't see any of the regulars on tonight to raid into. I may pick someone I don't normally raid into. Should we do that, or does someone have a suggestion? I'm thinking I may raid into a new one. Maybe we'll try something different for a change. You can throw a little wrench into it. Like the Venture
Something
Maidens.
good might come out of
there
it.
You go.
Yeah.
Nikki's on. Nikki Nerd's Out's on. Really? What's she doing though? Is she running video games? I mean, I'll do that for Bones or Darling, but yeah, let me see. Is she doing video games? Yep. I want to run into a raid into a D&D stream. So all right, we'll just I'll pick one. Yeah. So it is her D&D. All right, if it's her D&D, we'll go into we'll go there. Sounds good. We're going to Nikki. Thanks for the suggestion. All right, we'll see all of you tomorrow night, 7:30. Sound like a
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Anna and Mike. We're a great show. Talk to you all soon.
Bye.
I just did Careful Cantrip on a Wednesday night just recently, the week before Phoenix, so I kind of rotated. Yeah, but I did do that. I know there's a talk show on here too. That's a good one too. But I've had Nikki on a couple of shows, so definitely she's cool. I didn't realize she was DMing, gaming, so we'll definitely go to her. Set the raid up. Oh my gosh, I move stuff around here. Gotta spell things right. There you go. Turn it up. Awesome. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night. Thank you, everyone.